obviously a big series this week. I mean, do you guys look at like what other teams have done against Texas and take anything out of that? Like K State, I mean, obviously, you know, showed they're plenty beatable.
No, I think the biggest thing, it's really a matter of like what they did to beat them. And so you're trying to capitalize on that. And I know all the teams do that. You're just trying to figure out what allowed them to have success. What we have that can also maybe maximize some of that, and then try to match up those pieces as best possible. Texas is a very good team on the pitching side and the offensive side. So, we're trying to find any little bit of evidence we can to try to maximize what we have and to put it out on the field.
Saw where Saturday's game is sold out. I don't know if you'd seen that, but do you guys get a charge out of that? Like maybe trying to silence the home crowd?
Well, I hope there are a lot of Baylor people going to be there. That's my goal, is that Baylor kind of bought out the stadium. But it's exciting. I mean, that's the thing, is our guys love playing in front of crowds. It's good for them. And that's what's great, is that they're going to have a bunch of fans there as well.
Coach, we talked about it, obviously, last week, kind of just seeing team go through it and getting that win on the board. Now that you guys have now seen a couple go through, can you see a little bit more of that confidence once you got that first one, and now as you kind of string some together?
Yeah, you can definitely see in our guys, they're carrying themselves better on the field. They, Texas is kind of going through a rough patch right now. And when we've kind of obviously gone through it, and I think most teams, when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds, you're going to go through it. So it's just a matter of how quickly you can get out of it, and how healthy you can be while you're trying to maintain it. So that for us is the biggest thing. Is like, I think our guys are playing well right now. It's just a matter of continuing it. We're going to go to a facility that has turf. It's slow turf, and so we have to get a little bit of practice in tonight just to kind of make sure we know how the field plays. That's going to be a big part.
How's Tyler doing in terms of just coming off the break from last week?
We hope he's doing a lot better. I mean, that's the thing, is like he's been playing catch, he's been throwing, and so it's just a matter of how he feels on Sunday is going to really determine the length of how far he can go.
So Will's going to go on Friday night?
Will's going to go on Friday, correct.
Did you get through those midweek games about as good as you could in terms of the pitching you were able to use, getting wins, all of that?
I don't know if we could have gotten through it any better.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Going even on the Saturday game against Kansas, that was kind of a modified bullpen day as well. So going through 3 games with your bullpen was really good for us, and being able to get a lot of guys out there, having them have some success, having to fight through some things, and at the same time, just the biggest thing is repetition. Getting them out there, getting them pitching, let them have success, then hopefully know what that feeling is like and try to continue it.
In terms of filling in without Tyler, how do you think the guys stepped up, especially the guys who started this past week?
Well, I think they realize that somebody has to do it. That is the biggest thing, is like, okay, if he's not going to pitch for us, somebody's going to have to do it. And at that moment is when you realize, okay, who's going to step up and be that guy? Like, I don't need 8 innings. I need 2. I need 3. Somebody go in there and silence a team for 3 innings, and then we can use everybody else to try to figure out the rest of the game.
Speaking of guys stepping up, Nevin's in a pretty good groove. I think earlier this season you called him a big league right fielder in terms of what he could do defensively, but it's nice to see what he's doing at the plate, right?
It is, and that's what we've seen. What we as you look into your crystal ball, when you see his ability, you're like, okay, this guy can be a dude for you. And I still think he has another 20-some pounds to put on him. Hopefully he's back next year and able to do some amazing things. But right now he's swinging the bat really well. Really excited about who he is on defense. Even though he's made some errors out there, I still think he's one of the best defenders out there with his arm. So just knowing that he's out there and he's swinging the bat well in the middle of our order gives us a pretty good confidence right now.
Talk about what Kobe was able to do, obviously on the mound and at the plate. What about Cam as well the past couple of days? I know he pitched 2 innings on Monday and then drove in 2 runs on Tuesday. How big is it to have as many of those guys as possible to kind of be able to fill those?
I'll tell you what, I think it's in any occupation, when you can find people who can do multiple things well, and you can rely on them to get it done successfully and at the quality that you're looking for, how can't you be happy about that? And I think any boss, any person looks at that and goes, oh my gosh, like, he can fill that role, and he can get on the mound, he can get on the defense, and knowing that you're still going to have a quality product out there, man, that's awesome for all of us.
Do you have to fight the idea of, like, yeah, I have the guys who do both, but maybe I want to really specialize them and get them maybe great at one thing versus playing both those positions and being good at them.
Well, I think sometimes, especially when they're young, the specialization hasn't quite come through yet. For some people, it's very obvious. For a coach, sometimes it's obvious. For a player, it's always never obvious. So you have to kind of lead the witness a little bit. And usually you do that with facts, you do that with figures, you do that with numbers, and you just kind of explain things to them. But sometimes, just because it may not be at a professional level where they might thrive, doesn't mean they won't succeed at a college level. And so our job is to make sure we maximize both. Can we utilize both to help us win, but at the same time maximizing what will help them in the future? That's our goal.
When you guys were at Shriners, did you get a chance to watch Texas at all?
I mean, all their games are on TV. I mean, watching them in person or on TV it's kind of irrelevant now with all the technology that everybody has. You don't have to sit there and take notes and watch them, and it's pretty simple. They're a really good team, and I know they're going to play well at home, so we're just going to have to play that much better too.
What is it about them that stands out when you watch them?
Oh, they have amazing starting pitching. They're a veteran team. They have a lot of older guys on their team, and that's the biggest thing. I was talking to a coach from the SEC the other day, and he's like, I don't know if I've seen a true freshman playing this year. He's like, we're playing against a lot of 23 and 24-year-olds. And in my head, I'm kind of processing that, like, shoot, we got a lot of 18 and 19-year-olds rolling out there right now. And so that's the thing, is like, you're playing against, like, the COVID year has given teams, Texas State, great example. They have like 9 seniors that were playing for them. And we had a bunch of sophomores going out there. So that's I think is the difference of that people don't realize, is that those extra years of experience, those extra years of playing, those extra years of opportunity always make a difference.
When you see what someone like Ivan Melendez is doing for them, how does that kind of factor into your game plan going down to Austin?
it's make sure the Titanic doesn't hit any home runs. It's pretty. Just do everything you can to make sure he doesn't hurt you as bad as he possibly can. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Quality hitter. He's done it for years, and so we just have to make sure that we minimize what he's capable of.
Kyle, you've hit a pretty good stretch here. What do you explain? How do you explain it? You just kind of seeing the ball well, or?
Yeah, just having good work in practice, day in and day out. Just continuing to put that effort in, and knowing maybe I had some struggles at the beginning, but just continuing to grind and work through that, and seeing success is always a good thing.
Kyle, when guys go through stretches like that, it seems like anytime you listen to a game or watch a game, they say the classic, it looks like he's hitting a beach ball out there. Does it feel that way at the plate at times when you're kind of hot there?
A little bit. It starts with the guys in front of me, though. Jack, Jared, and Trey, they've been putting up great at-bats and grinding out at-bats to see a lot of pitches, which kind of wears a pitcher down, allows me to get better pitches to hit and just stay locked in, and really all comes from that.
I'd say when you have the top of the lineup, like you guys are right now, how important is that for the offense this team?
It's been doing great. Energy feeds down to the bottom, and everybody. 1 through 9, we've all been swinging well as this run's been going, and just good to see everybody results come from the hard work we all put in.
I'm trying to think, for you guys that are third-year sophomores, is it first trip to Austin?
It is the first trip, yes.
Yeah. So what are you expecting?
I think the atmosphere is going to be good, and it's all what we come for. All what we come to the Big 12 to play in, and we're all excited, looking forward to it. You get to play a pretty good team down there in Texas, and we've shown that we play our game, we stick to our game, we can compete with the best in the country.
Is there much better than when you're on the road and you're able to kind of shut a crowd up, by playing well?
Not much better feeling than that, no.
Kyle, how big was getting a couple wins after kind of that stretch that you guys went through, and how much is that doing for your confidence?
It was huge, just kind of seeing. We had a little bit of a stretch there for a little bit, but it never broke us or never tore our energy down or stuff like that. We come to the ballpark, same energy, same intensity every day, and just seeing results from that has definitely been big for us.
You have a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Who kind of steps up and keeps the ship kind of going in terms of that?
What did you say?
When you have a bunch of 18, 19, 20-years who maybe haven't gone through that and all they know is success at the high school level especially, who steps up in those moments when you guys go through maybe a losing streak and says, hey, we got to keep it up?
It kind of comes from all of us, but Tyler Thomas has been big, and Jake Jackson having multiple years spent in college baseball, just keeping energy and keeping just that consistency that we need to really help us get through those times and show that they've had experience in those, and there's always ways to come out of it, and we're going to be fine in the end.
You guys had a stretch here recently where I'm going to say like 3 or 4 games where y'all didn't have a walk as a pitching staff. I mean, that's a pretty good trend. I mean, what do you kind of attribute that to?
I think it's a testament to basically trusting the process and using our development as a pitching staff. We got a lot of young guys, but a lot of also experienced guys. So trying to use our experience, kind of like guys like Volker, Thomas, me, just to help the young guys and continue to have them go through their process, go through that work, and just keep pushing buttons, keep trying different things, and grinding it out until things start to click. And I mean, now we're seeing those things start to click. So just got to keep working and stay on that journey.
You mentioned Tyler, when he's not able to pitch in a series, what's the, I guess, message to maybe everyone else on how you guys can kind of fill that void?
Yeah, well, he's our tone setter. So when we don't have him kind of in a series like last week at Kansas, it requires everybody else to step their game up to a whole nother level and kind of pitch to the best of their ability, knowing that we don't have those 6-7 innings of 2-run, 3-run ball that we're going to get out of him every week. So just basically everyone else, young guys, old guys, step up, whatever position you're put in, do it to the best of your ability to help the team win.
The way the bullpen has struggled before this last stretch, how rewarding was that to see starting Saturday and then Monday and Tuesday see you guys kind of piece it together like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no joke. We struggled. It was bad. There was a lot of losses that should have been wins, but I think everyone's just kind of kept their head down, kept working, and now you're seeing the testament of that process that's being put together. And hopefully we can keep that confidence going high into Texas. And I mean, bullpen's going to shut down games for us, so do whatever we can to win games and come home with 2 or 3.
Do you feel like you've kind of settled into your role now? I mean, you've adjusted to that or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I think being a starter and moving to the bullpen, it gives me kind of a different feel, a different confidence level and mentality, and just come in whatever situation I'm put in, whether it's the start of the inning or with runners on base, just help the guy who I came in for, or help myself, kind of just keep the team in a position to win and move on.
Speaking of confidence, when you get an out, like a big strikeout or something, you seem to get into that. Is that sort of your personality, and does this team need a little bit of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a rowdy type of guy. I like to bring energy, and I'm not shy to wear it on my sleeve, that's for sure. So when I get a big out, I'm going to let the crowd know it and let my team know it, just to try to get some energy going. And I mean, that's just kind of who I am and who I play like.
Is there a mental adjustment moving from the starting role to coming out of the bullpen, or is pitching?
For me, it's just helping the team win. Do whatever's asked for me to help the team win, and kind of accept my role. Know that I have the ability to help our team win every day, and trust that whoever is in that starting role is going to get it done for us, and do my job when I'm asked.
Is there a part of you that kind of likes coming into those tight situations where maybe you got 2 or 3 on and you got to get some big outs?
Yeah, I mean, the Tuesday night game when I came in first and third, the adrenaline's different than obviously a first inning to start a weekend game. So coming in knowing you have to make better pitches right away, and you can't let one pitch get away from you. It's kind of a different type of mentality that I've kind of grown to like. So,
what do you think has been the difference between maybe this last week out of the bullpen and earlier in the season?
I think it's just guys taking advantage of their opportunities. So, I mean, everyone's been kind of set into a role now where if you're in the pen, you're in the pen, and if you're starting, you're starting. So guys are kind of more accepting of their roles, and they're taking advantage of the time that they get on the field, and they want to help us win. I think that's what it's come down to, is our backs are against the wall. We know that we have to make pitches. We know that we have to execute on the field. We have to play defense. So doing whatever we can to grind out wins and put ourselves in a position to play in the regional.